Hey, this is Yirmiyahu Weeps. Um, I felt like making a really raw, real video. Just lying here feeling sick and don't know exactly what I want to talk about. Just thought of some things, but no, I can't remember them, which really kind of sucks. Crazy world we live in. I was thinking about my life and how my life is in ruins. I know the Creator brought me to this place. I know He did. I know He did. He gave me a message before He brought me here. Well, I'll just tell you really quick where I am. Chronically ill, multiple sclerosis. It's getting worse. Pretty much every day. It's a little bit worse. A little bit worse every day. Really deep depression. Suicidal. I long for death. Really, really want death to come. I don't want to be like that, but that's where He's put me. Um, an accumulation of traumas in life, severe losses, severe losses. So yeah, that's where I am. But He led me here, and He's given me messages at times. And His last message that He gave me, well, one of His last, was, no, I think it was it His last? Yeah, it was His last. The last message He gave me, that I mean, like a particular message, was trust me. That was His message, trust me. Right before I fell off the cliff. Right before it felt like He pushed me off the cliff. Well, actually, I liken it to, you know, the game where somebody's standing behind you and they say, fall backwards and I'll catch you. So it's a game of trust, and you fall backwards and they catch you. Well, it was like that, except He didn't catch me. He pushed me as I was going down. So yeah, that's where I am. But I think about this, and I think about how when I was 22 years old, and I reached the point over the years where I saw that life was absurd and it was a world of futility, and reality was absurd and futility, and it drove me to the point of suicide, and I was about to end my life, and He rescued me and saved my life. And so from that point on, I knew He was like everything I had been looking for, the meaning and purpose that I've been looking for, the ultimate. Because I wanted the ultimate. I didn't want to settle for anything less. I wanted the ultimate. I mean, everything else is just like candy coating. You know, it's just, it's not, it's so ephemeral. It's so temporary. I didn't want that. I wanted the ultimate. Um, and I knew he was it. And I knew he was goodness and love, like the goodness and the love. And I knew that's what I wanted. And I gave him my life. And I said, you can do with this whatever you want. Whatever you choose to do, I'm yours. All out. And I knew what that could entail. I knew that there were no guarantees that it was going to be pleasant. I knew that there were no guarantees that it was going to be enjoyable. But I knew it was the best thing I could possibly do. I knew it was worthwhile. I knew that was the smartest thing I could do. The most worthwhile, most productive, most sensible thing I could do. So, I was right in my, what's the word? Apprehensions. Yeah, I was right in my apprehensions. And when he said, trust me, I had a lot of apprehension then too. He said it to me 7 times. And I figure if he's saying it to me, there's got to be a reason. So I had quite a bit of apprehension, and I was very, very right in my apprehension. And so here I am, still there. Still there. And I look at the world, and I look at everything, and I look at the way the world operates, and the way the world functions, and I look at the limits and boundaries of reality, and I look at how people interact, and how people behave, and the outlook that people have in the world. I mean, all the outlooks and behavior and everything that I know of, that I'm aware of. Now, I'm sure there's, there's 7 billion people on the planet, so I'm not aware of everybody. But over the years, from everybody I've encountered and everything I've seen, everything, that's what has brought me to the conclusion I have. That's what's informed me with my understanding of people. Now I lost my train of thought. I wonder what it was. So, yeah, with everyone, lost it. Dang it! It was a good point too. That kind of stinks. I don't know. I was talking about looking at this world and looking at people and stuff, and I mean, it did. It drove me to the point of futility. And he was my only out. He was the only out that I found. He was the only way not to commit suicide. Because it was driving me mad. Nietzsche had it right. Partly, at least. Yeah, I mean, he's the only way out I can find. Everything else is futility and absurdity, and meaninglessness and futility, and part of the composition of the insanity of this reality. Everything I can see. And it's so sad. It's so sad. but I found the out. And even now, I know He gives meaning and purpose to everything. He brings meaning and purpose to everything, to the absurdity and the futility and the pain. Because I think human beings are and they aren't made for pain. If you think about like your nerves and think about the possible sources of pain and think about like say what can happen to cause you pain and what can possibly happen to kill you and what can make things difficult in life, not even necessarily all that painful or kill you, but just difficult and make life less than pleasant, less than good. They're innumerable. There's so many. And we have all of these nerves and whether it's physical pain or emotional pain. I'm not sure if there's mental pain. I don't know if that's the same as emotional pain. Well, maybe mental pain, I'm not sure. But mental, emotional pain, physical pain, inner pain, these sources of pain, um, so yeah, we're made that way. We're made to have pain. But how many of us like gravitate toward pain? If we're whole at all, if we're healthy, do we gravitate towards pain? If we get unhealthy, we can, but that's like masochistic, kind of masochistic. Yeah, maybe. Um, and I mean that's uh, driven too far. Seems like to me, anyways. When you're driven too far. So we are and we're not made for pain because we recoil from it. Um, but yet, pain can produce growth. I think that's part of the purpose of it. But yeah, I mean, I see that He's the ultimate, He's the answer. Everything goes back to Him. All paths lead back to the Creator. Everything leads back to Him. He's the source of everything, and everything leads back to Him. Which is good and right. And since He is love, I mean, love personified. I don't feel qualified to be able to say that because I don't understand Him. Not like that. I mean, I understand Him in a way, but so since He's love and goodness, and since He created every single person, and He planned the life of every single person before they were ever born, and He purposed for what would happen to every single person, then everything goes back to Him, and it all goes to bring Him honor and glory. I mean, glory's a weird word, but it's basically honor, to make Him exalted, and really what that is, I think, to make Him exalted is really just us knowing who He is. Because if we know who He is, He will be exalted because that's who He is. I mean, He's the ultimate. You can't get any better. So yeah, with everything, with my chronic illness and my longing for death and my devastated life, my life in ruins and shambles, and um, my deep depression, everything. It's because that's what he's purposed. Which I know it's kind of an honor because just like Yeshua was like the cream of the crop, the greatest human being ever. And Yahweh exalted him above everybody else. He's the most exalted human being ever. And look at what Yeshua had to go through. Tortured to death. Tortured to death. And he did it willingly. He purposed, he knew if he was going to go to Jerusalem, that this was going to happen. But he resolutely went anyways. Even though his students were trying to dissuade him. And from my understanding, he was around 30, possibly younger, maybe like 28 years old, and he was doing this. Yeah, from my understanding, he was around 28, and his students were teenagers. The oldest was Avon, commonly known as Peter, probably around 20, and the others were younger. So they were, teenagers. They were students, which I think can explain a lot. But he purposed to do this. So if he's the most exalted human being ever, and people don't understand him and they're ripping on him all the time, and it talks about how he's like, he grows up as a tender shoot, and he's not like, the most, worldly strong and all that human being around, but I'm guessing he was probably kind of sensitive and tender and maybe easily wounded. And if he had all the crap that he had in life, and he not being understood, his family not understanding and rejecting him, and many people rejecting him, people that he probably loved rejecting him. Well, of course, when he got executed, lots of people were rejecting him and being hostile to him. And he was doing what he was doing at the request of the Creator, at the instruction of the Creator, and he probably loved the people because he knew the Creator loved the people, and that's part of the reason that he was doing what he was doing. It was the Creator's plan to bring redemption to all people, and since he loved the Creator, he probably couldn't help but love who the Creator loved, which is his children, the Creator's children. So the people that he loved were being hostile to him and everything. So if he went through all that, I mean, should I be exempt? I mean, what I go through is like trivial compared to stuff that some people go through. I can't even wrap my head around this reality is, I just can't even bear it. I mean, I don't know if that makes me like less spiritual or something, because it's just like, I don't know, like in scripture when it talks about the Nebaim, the prophets, getting sawn in half, that just horrifies me. Being stoned and decapitated and hung and sawn in half, all these horrible things. It just horrifies me. Violence to me it's insane. I don't understand it. Why would someone hurt another human being? That's how anti-productive, how nonsensical, how backwards and futile and dumb. I mean, it seems like a really stupid thing to do for one human being to hurt another. I mean, that's just my perception. I'm sure other people can have whatever, but so it just horrifies me that, violence and stuff, it just doesn't make really any sense to me. Really, it doesn't, because if you're violent to somebody else, well, reciprocity? means that there's probably going to be violence coming back to you. I mean, what? That's seems like a no-brainer, you know? But I mean, I know it's like the way that the creator created this reality is for all this absurdity and insanity to be going on, but it makes sense to me why I rebelled and why I it drove me to the point of suicide, and why it still drives me to the point of suicide, and where I still rebel against it, why I still like think it's insane. And I understand, like, if people aren't okay because of this reality, I'm like, well, that's normal. I mean, that should be expected. If you're sane at all, then this reality should be driving you nuts. You shouldn't be able to handle this reality because it's too warped. It's too warped. And he's the only way out I can see. He's the only thing I can see that makes sense at all. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I know he has my life. I know he has everyone's life, and I know he's making everything happen in everybody's life, and things may look very, very bleak. They do for me. I mean, that's all I see. And um, like, I wish the atheists were right, so that when I die, that can be it. I can be done. Sometimes I wish that, anyways, but I know that it won't be. I know that's not true. That he will bring redemption to every single person, and since he's going to do it to every single person, that I'm included in that. Um, so I know that he brings meaning and purpose to everything, and that he has meaning and purpose in everything that happens with all of us. So this is just part of the journey. Everything. It's all just part of the journey. So, I don't know. And that's another thing that's interesting is 7 billion different consciousnesses and personalities and ways of looking at reality. I mean, of course, a lot of people, share, but everyone is unique, like a snowflake kind of thing, where no two snowflakes are alike. Everyone is unique, and everyone has their own identity and self and consciousness, and the creator made them that way. And I think it's awesome. To me, that's the greatest treasure in this reality is people. That's the absolute greatest treasure in this universe, is human beings, people. Even though too many people don't act like that too much of the time, but the creator purposes it all. Anyways, I'm slightly babbling and going on, I guess. Wacky, wacky, wacky. And I don't have as much understanding as I'd like. But that's okay. I mean, all these other people have all this understanding of things that I don't. But that's okay, and that's good, because I mean, that's good. Then everybody has something to offer. And I have something to offer too, just like other people do. Everybody has something to, every single person, because every single person has treasure that's been put inside them by the Creator, a part of Himself that cannot be found in anywhere else in all of creation throughout history. So that makes every single person priceless beyond imagining. I know that's true. I know that's true. I know that's the way it is. And I know that's real. So you are priceless beyond imagining. And you have something of the Creator in you, which makes you awesome and wonderful and beautiful, and um, anything about you that's contrary to love is like a part of you that's going to get purified, and you're going to come to the point where you are complete and full and whole, and all according to love, and you will be the most you that you have ever been. The most fully realized you that you've ever been. It will happen. Um, whoever you are. And you're wonderful and beautiful, and that's the way the Creator made you. And I mean, we have this world's reality of standards of like beauty, intelligence, and worth and everything. Both those are all like fleeting and ephemeral and temporary and not lasting. But the qualities of you that are beyond those things are permanent. The ones that the Creator made and makes you wonderful and beautiful, and a priceless treasure. Those are permanent. They will last. The other things won't last. And the other things are not solid. Can't think of the word. I think it's because of the MS affecting my mind. Fleeting? No, that's not the word I was looking for. Shifting? Not stable? Yeah. Well, that gives you the idea of what the word I was looking for anyways. Yep. And that's another thing. I'm really glad because all of us are on this path of learning. And I mean, there are things that I believe and think that I know, and I try to disprove them. I try to, because I've been deceived before, and I don't like being deceived, and I would rather not be deceived. So if there's things that I'm wrong about and I think I'm right, I want to find out that I'm wrong. I want to be shown that I'm wrong. I want to be disproven. But at the same time, there's been time in the past where I've too willingly accepted things without examining them enough, and I don't want to do that anymore. So if somebody proposes that I'm wrong, I want to examine it to make sure that they're right, and try and poke holes in what they say. And if I can't poke any holes in it, then maybe they are right. But if I can poke holes in it, then they're not right. Which is, I mean, hopefully good. But I know that one way or the other, for all of us, the Creator will bring us to the place of knowing Him and knowing the truth about everything, I think. Everything. And all of these things that people are confused about, because confusion just like reigns supreme in this reality. It's all over the place. Most of the time when you see two people disagree, there's confusion there. But confusion is so much. But he's purposed that to be this way for now, and he's going to bring clarity to everybody, bring truth to everybody, bring knowledge and understanding to everybody, which I'm glad about. So we can be content knowing that he will do that in the time of his choosing. So we don't have to like stress out. But it's good to like keep on learning and growing and stuff, but you can be at peace knowing that it's going to happen, that he will bring you the truth and knowledge and understanding at the time of his choosing. It will happen. And it's not really up to you, even though, you know, you can work at it and stuff, but and you working at it will could very well be him making it happen. So still babbling. Wow, okay, this is half an hour long. I should wrap this up because I've just been babbling. But yeah, crazy life. Crazy life. But that's good. At least it's not boring. That would be bad. That would be bad. So, if you have anything you want to offer, especially if it's a correction to anything that I've said, anywhere that you see that I'm wrong, please leave comments or feedback. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have a very good day, night, evening, morning, whenever you watch this. And you're awesome. Shalom, au revoir, arrivederci, auf Wiedersehen, Slán, adios, Gesundheit, sayonara, shalom, bye.